We came here because they told us to, because we had no other choice. But the bombs haven't stopped. People are panicking. And it's getting harder to hear the cries for help. Rescuers ask for silence, hoping for a miracle. Not today. On the other side of the building, they try again. Through the rubble, rescuers pull out a little girl. I don't know whether she lived or died. I don't know what's going to happen to her or to us. We live day by day now. We're running out of bread, out of fuel. We're running out of water.
ساعتين لثلاث عشان نعبي ماي. احنا كل يوم هيك نيجي بنعبي ماي عشان ناكل عشان نشرب.
There isn't enough for everyone to drink. So now, the children drink first.
Yousef Hammash reporting there. Daniel Levy is president of the US Middle East Project and a former peace negotiator who worked with previous Israeli prime ministers. He joined me in the studio earlier, and I began by asking how great he thinks the risk is of this conflict escalating beyond the Israel-Palestine borders.
I think it is significant. There has been an attempt to keep the northern border, Israel-Hezbollah, within the confines of not spinning totally out of control. But there's a link between the two. There is a correlation between how bad things get in Gaza. And let's not forget, there's a West Bank and there's East Jerusalem, and 20% of the Israeli population are Palestinian citizens of Israel. To the extent to which that escalates, to the extent to which that horrendous figure of 940 plus children, I think it is, Palestinians in Gaza keeps going up, how possible does it become for Hezbollah, for others to stay out of this? And I think that's part of this messaging that's going on at the moment, is America saying stay out and them saying make it possible for us to stay out.
You talk about others. Iran is threatening preemptive action. How seriously do you take that threat?
It doesn't necessarily have to come from Iran itself. I think we would be wise to take it seriously. With America having placed its aircraft carriers off the coast of Lebanon, with the domestic politics in America, I think it would be hard for them to stay out of this. I also don't think we should rule out that Israel preemptively expands the circle. There is a narrative in Israel that it's not going to be enough to deal with Hamas. What you have right now is a very unified Israeli public. There'll be lots of time to be incredibly angry at Netanyahu afterwards, but he has that. He has unprecedented, as he will still see it, external American Western support, and this is his last roll of the dice.
In that context, then, Joe Biden's visit, obviously heavy with diplomatic significance. What can he do or say to kind of restrain Israel, if that's what he wants to do? And will Israel heed that call from its closest ally?
It's going to be really interesting, and we probably won't know because the important messages are going to be conveyed in private. What is the balance on this visit of President Biden between performative love-in for domestic political consumption back in the US versus rolling up sleeves in the private meetings to try and draw parameters for the extent of the Israeli military action? And will Israel listen? Dancing at those two weddings is going to be incredibly difficult.
And in the meantime, the carnage in Gaza, nearly 1,000 children killed so far, an appalling figure. What comes next after the ground offensive? I mean, Biden's warned against Israeli occupation of Gaza, but what's the alternative?
There's always an alternative, and it looks much more difficult after October 7th. But where we were on October 6th was not in a good place. And many of us warned this will explode if you neglect the root causes of the Palestinian issue. And this administration was deep, deep into the neglectful management approach to this issue. We are where we are now. International law, international humanitarian law have to be adhered to. One war crime does not allow another. Are there openings, therefore, to step back from the abyss? You've got the prisoner situation, the first video of an Israeli held in Gaza. Does that give you something that allows a dynamic of give those negotiations a chance?
And just finally, you've advised the Israeli government in the past. What would you be saying to Netanyahu now if you had his ear right now?
My fear is that Netanyahu cannot face the morning after, and this may have to come from others. And I think the Americans are going to have to work, other members of that war cabinet, the leadership of the military in Israel. I don't think Netanyahu himself may be in a place where he can step back from the brink.
Daniel Levy, thanks very much.
Thank you.